Do you hear that sound, my dear? It is the sea. It is always talking. Sometimes it shouts with big, angry waves. Sometimes it whispers secrets on the sand. Tonight, it is whispering. You must listen very closely to hear what it says. I have lived by this shore for my entire life. I have heard all its stories, the happy ones, the sad ones, and the scary ones. The scary stories are the ones you must pay attention to. They are the ones that can save you. So come closer to the fire. Let its warm light keep you safe for a little while. The wind is growing colder now. The night is very dark here. There are no city lights to chase away the shadows. There is only the moon, but tonight she is hiding behind the clouds. It is just you, me, and the great dark water. Can you hear the waves? Crash. And then a long, slow hiss as the water pulls back over the pebbles. It is a lonely sound, isn't it? It sounds like something is waiting for the world to sleep, for people like us to stop paying attention. The legend is as old as this town. My grandmother heard it from her grandmother. It is a story passed down not in books, in hushed voices around a warm fire. The story is about something that lives in the sea. It is not a fish. It is not a whale. It is something else. Something that does not like the sun. It only comes when the fog is thick, or on nights when the moon is gone and darkness is complete. The old fisherman called it the tide taker. It always came with the tide, hidden in the churning cold water, older than ships, older than our town. It started with small things, just like in the old stories. Old Mr. Hemlock's favourite lure was gone. Then Mrs. Gable's garden gnome, too heavy for a bird. People started talking, small silly things to lose, yet strange. Then the footprints started, not human, long and thin, starting at the water's edge, going up the beach, never going back. As if they vanished into the air, made by something heavy, something that dragged itself, leading to the steps, then nothing. The sound followed, soft, wet, slapping like a big fish dropped on a dock, again and again. It came and went with the tide, watching, listening, waiting. The disappearances became more serious. A string of nets vanished. A brand new life buoy, bright orange with the town's name, gone. Who would steal a life buoy? Then came the night of the storm. Wind howled like a hungry wolf. Rain hammered. Waves became monsters. No one dared go outside. A perfect night for the tide taker to be brave. The storm could hide the sound of dragging, the sound of something being taken. Morning. Storm gone. Sun shining. Sea calm and blue. The Millers woke to a nightmare. Their little terrier, Pip, was gone, his leash still tied, collar unbuckled on wet wood. No struggle, just gone. Footprints from the sea, up to the porch, then back to the water. This time they went back. Everyone saw them, clear prints in wet sand. The town went quiet. Laughter stopped. They looked at the sea not with wonder, but with fear. I was young then. Not a little girl, but not yet a woman. I thought I was brave. I did not believe the stories. I thought it was just the wind, just the sea playing tricks. There was a full moon, the beach lit with silver. I told my mother I was going for a walk. She begged me not to go. I did not listen. I loved the sea, the sound of the waves, the salty air. I walked far from the town lights, just me and the big beautiful ocean. Everything felt normal, safe. I laughed to myself. A sea monster? A silly story. Then the fog came, silent, a grey ghost, quickly swallowing the moon and the town. The air grew cold. I stood to go. That is when I heard it. A new sound, not the waves. A wet, dragging sound coming from the water, slow and heavy. Drag, hiss, drag, hiss. Something very heavy pulled across the shore. My heart raced. I could not see, only thick grey fog, and the sound grew closer. Then it stopped. A heavy, waiting silence. Even the waves held their breath. Drip, drop, drip, drop. It sounded like water dripping from something tall, standing right in front of me. A cold from the ocean's bottom. Old and rotten on the air. A low, deep rumble, No animal growl, but a sound from a huge chest. It vibrated in the air, in the ground, in my bones. It studied me. I could not scream. I could only hear its long, wet breathing, like tide in a sea cave, so terribly close. That feeling of being studied, of being an insect beneath a giant, unseen eye, finally broke my fear. I did not think. I just turned and ran, away from the dripping, away from the deep rumble, away from the cold. I fell, then rose and ran. The dragging started again, faster, drag, hiss, drag, hiss. It was following me. It moved with incredible speed, pulling itself along the sand. I risked a glance, saw nothing, but the sound was everywhere. I screamed. The fog took it. Suddenly, a light, a glow from a town window. Hope surged. I ran with everything I had, onto the wooden boardwalk. I did not stop until my own door, fumbling the lock. The dragging had stopped. It did not follow me into the light. I never told anyone what happened that night. Who would have believed me? They would say the fog played tricks, that I was a frightened girl. But I knew what I heard, what I felt, how close it was. The memory never left, carved into me like names in an old tree. Years passed. The town grew. More lights along the shore. New people laughed at the legend. They forgot. They let their children play late, left shiny toys on the beach. I watched and warned, but they smiled and patted my arm. Every time the fog rolls in, I hear it. The drip, drop, and the low, deep rumble. The cold returns. It is still out there, waiting. So that is my story, my dear. A warning you must carry. Never turn your back on the sea. Never trust the fog. If you hear a strange dragging sound, run. Never look back. Before you go, look, my little secret. When I fell that night, my hand closed on something hard and cold in the sand. I kept it, to remember. It is a button, large and heavy, carved with strange symbols, cold to the touch. I wore a blue coat with shiny silver buttons, and the top one, at my throat, was missing. The tide taker was not chasing me, my dear. It was only trying to return something I had dropped.